and welcome to another fabulous episode of the Mindset Michele TV show, where we're sure that you're going to have another incredible and interesting experience learning from today's guest about how to create a mindset for success. Today's guest is the fabulous Vivek Dahiya. Hello, Vivek.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm fabulous, and it's so wonderful to have you coming on the show. For those of you that aren't aware of who Vivek is, he's this incredible gentleman who has this background in, of all things, IP, as you can see from the background on his screen when he comes up, IP and innovation. And I know Vivek has, so many entrepreneurial hands in this and that, and so much wealth of knowledge across a number of areas. But before we go there, Vivek, I'm really fascinated. Can you explain to people how you came to be doing what you're doing and what it is that motivates you about it?
Yeah, sure, Michelle. So I finished my engineering master's degree, and I was looking for a unique domain to work in because, since beginning, I'm always curious about new things, and I got to know about a patent's profile way back in 2007. And I then one of the company given me a chance to work on as a patent engineer with them, and from there I got to know that patent is such a exciting, beautiful, and challenging field. And you got to know the innovations, you know. 3 years, 4 years before they came into the public, right? So that's the fascinating thing, and which attracted me towards this domain.
Wow. And were you like that as a kid? You were interested in, what was new and what was interesting, or as a kid, you're too busy studying like a lot of people?
No. I was not a top ranker in the class, but I was backbencher and was being, always curious about new things and exploring new things and talking to new people. So been with me since my childhood. And I believe, that's what still keep me moving in this field and keep tackling the challenges every day. I'm really, really happy that what I'm doing, I'm really having fun in it.
Oh, that's so true. That's one of the most important things, isn't it? Really having
Yeah.
fun at what you do. And I believe you also lived in a few different places. What can you tell us a little bit about that? Must have been interesting, moving around and living and working different places.
Yeah, so I've been, as I mentioned, I've been an explorer. So once I did my bachelor's of engineering, I came to Australia. I studied in Melbourne and La Trobe University. And that gives me a very, very new dimension in the life, and I'm thankful for La Trobe University for giving me that opportunity. And after finishing my studies, went back to India and started my patents job with a law firm. And then I got an opportunity to work in Singapore. And for a few months, I worked with a firm there, lived in the beautiful city of Singapore. And then I have went back to India and started my entrepreneur journey in 2013. And since then, I've visited almost every country in Asia and Asia Pacific, lived there for a few weeks, developed my business contacts and my friends. And now I'm back to the land of opportunities that is in Adelaide. And I'm really happy and looking forward to a great future here.
Yeah, and I guess, especially being an entrepreneur in the Asiatic region, like you're saying, having traveled and lived in different places would have been one of those key things to really understand the cultures, because every culture is very different. I can't remember, but is it like 24 different states, and they all have their own culture in India? I can't remember the exact number. Is that right?
There are around 28 to 29 states in India,
20.
and we do have a few official languages around 18. I'm just saying an approximate figure, but we have number of dialects. They are not languages, but dialects, and which changes every 50 kilometer or 100 kilometer. And that's the diversity about India, and that gives us a great opportunity to, understand cultures and new people. And yeah, it reflects in our entrepreneurial journey as well.
Yeah, I think most people, especially I know for myself, I was lucky when I did my postgraduate studies. I had the lovely Sunil Chatterjee. He was my supervisor. And we used to do these wonderful lunches, and he would explain to me, India isn't just India. It's, like these, like you're saying, thank you for clarifying the 28, 29 different states. And there's a different, not just 18 different languages, but there's a different dialect every 50 kilometers or something. So my brain even back then found it incredible to kind of grasp that kind of size and scale. But I could appreciate that that adaptability and that entrepreneurial spirit of being able to work with and understand different cultures, different dialects, etc. Is there actually a really great training ground from India to Australia must seem so simple, so much simpler compared to that. But
Yeah.
with that incredible and thank you for explaining it so nicely, background, what would you say today is your definition of success?
Oh, for me, I'm an advisor to a lot of startups and businesses, and I always talk about the word success. The success is a sense of satisfaction that you have. So a success for a person can be sipping a coffee at beach, right? And he's reading his novel after completing his 30 years of work. Or success can be, anything which is helping people in your community for empowering them with entrepreneurship. So success is kind of is always relates to the satisfaction. So for me, success would be if I'm able to, help at least 100 people to start new companies. So with this, I'm satisfied, and that is my success that I have contributed to the community.
Wow, I hear that, and that's another part of the Indian culture. I'm not sure if it's all states, etc., but in my experience, it has been all states, dialects, and languages, where that sense of community and giving back and supporting the community is something that's very deeply embedded. I think, I don't know, but I think it comes back to that deep sense of spirituality that's in the culture as well. So what a lovely, lovely definition of success for you then, that that it's the satisfaction of helping 100 different startups. And it's through one of those startups that Vivek and I actually came to be connected and to get to know each other.
Yeah.
With the startups, the different cultures, the IP patent, there's such a wealth of different areas there, Vic. And I know that the people watching will be really curious, because with so much success in your life and so much of giving back through the startups, whoever, what suggestions and tips do you have perhaps for others that, maybe starting out on their journey or struggling on their journey? What tips for creating that mindset for success do you have?
Yeah, so I would recommend, from my experiences, you first of all be determined that what you want to do. Be focused what exactly you want to achieve, and you should have an understanding of all the things, what exactly how you're going to do it. And then innovation. See, innovation is always, it's not that I'm into intellectual property, I'm talking about innovation, but innovation has to be there in everyday life as well. So if you really want to achieve your objectives, you have to be innovative in your approach. If you have failed in some during the journey, right, you should be innovative in accepting the failure. Right. I have started few companies, didn't work, but I have learned from it. So I would recommend that keep innovating. Innovating is not just filing or coming up with a eureka moment every moment. No. Innovation can be, how to approach a client. Innovation can be how to deal with your team members, right? So I have a different approach, an innovative approach in my team, that I want to make my team members entrepreneurs. So if I have more entrepreneurs in my company, I will have more business. So it's a simple innovation in thoughts and mindset, but it makes a big difference.
I really like this point, and thank you for sharing, two very, very good points there about the focus and everybody being an innovator every day. And that can mean reframing, if you like, that as you so beautifully put it, you've started a few companies and some of them didn't work. And so you needed to be innovative and kind of pick yourself up and go, well, what did I learn from that and what can I learn going forward? But I'm interested in the point you raised as well about creating entrepreneurs, and you use it about people in your team, in your business around you. But I'd like to expand that for, people that are just friends with each other in your support network, because I think that the tips around that, and I'm fascinated to hear what you're going to say, but I think the tips around that are, whether they're employees or friends or whoever, it's about creating perhaps that innovative entrepreneurial network around you that, again, whatever you're working on, whatever you're doing, it can help you to achieve and you can help others to achieve. So what would you suggest? Where would people start to create that sort of network?
Oh, see, network is, you have to, first of all, you have to, be away from your shyness. Don't shy. Talk. Be vocal. The simple fundamental of growing in life is ask for it. If you don't ask for it, nobody is going to give it to you, because everybody is busy in their life. And if you really want to start building up a network, is go out, meet new people, meet strangers, talk to them. Don't talk to them about business and money. Talk to them who they are, what they are doing. Learn from their experiences, and try to find out some synergies between their work and what their thoughts are. Develop something out of it. It will not happen overnight. So nothing happens overnight, and you have to put time. So I have put in 15 plus years in building a global network, right? So, and I'm still working on it. I would say I'm still working on my building my network in Adelaide. And the best tip to start from day one is to go out, talk to the people, and go to those events, meet those people where you find a like-mindedness or common interest. For example, I'm just for giving for example that I'm not interested in painting. If I go a painting event and meet people, I will not be able to gel up, and I will be wasting their time and my time as well. So it's really important for all of us to understand, again, going back to the same focus and understanding.
I love how you keep bringing it back to the focus and the understanding, and it's such simple but important points, and that similar approach to focus you so beautifully explained there about starting. Even before going out, you said start communicating. So communicating and asking for what you want. But then once you start communicating, going out to the environment, so not art environments for your painting, but going to those environments where you will meet the like-minded people.
Yeah.
I remembered many years ago when I started in the property investing space, I actually went to lots and lots of different property investing seminars and workshops to learn, and met a lot of interesting people that were at various stages of the journey. But they helped me through asking lots of questions and communicating to understand what I needed to know on that journey. So if you're looking at building that network around you of entrepreneurs and innovators, then it's about going to those environments where the entrepreneurs and innovators are going and meeting each other and having those conversations. Now, I know that some people watching may be a little bit more introvert or quieter, and the idea of going anywhere and talking to a stranger and sort of saying help about anything can be a little bit scary. So with yourself or with your team that you were talking about earlier, if somebody's naturally a little bit quieter, what sort of suggestions do you have for them for how they can also move forward and move more into this, sharing who they are and asking questions and going out?
Yeah. For them, I would put it this: being an introvert or being a quiet people, it's not a problem. It's sometimes it's good as well, because people who are quiet, they are good listeners, right? So it's a quality in them. However, how to grow their network is they can start talking to people within their close network, whom they are comfortable with, right? And then bring along them. Take one of your friend whom you gel up with, both of you go to a networking event, observe what's happening, try to connect with few more people there. If you are going to an event and if you are a quiet people, try to speak to only 3 or 4 interesting people. The moment you get 3 to 4 interesting people interactions, fix a coffee meeting with them next time, and then just come out. Because the more you stay and the more you are out of your comfort zone, you may be uncomfortable. And maybe that will deter you from going to another event next time. So don't push your limits. Be there, go out of your comfort zone, get something, come back and analyze what you have done. That's it.
What fabulous, fabulous advice. And you reminded me actually of, I do go to a number of networking events, and I went to one a few years ago, and the messaging and the way that the presenters were presenting didn't quite resonate. So interestingly, I did exactly the same as what you're describing there. I went somewhere a bit quieter in the room and just sat there and started chatting to a few of the people. And I got chatting to one of the lovely, lovely young ladies that was sitting there. She was from Indonesia. She had such an interesting life story and background. And we organised to go out for a coffee, and exactly like you're describing. And the strangest thing was, it turned out she lived around the corner from me. And I was so grateful that I'd actually taken the time to go and sit, quietly, rather than focusing on, the bigger group and what was being said and what was happening. I took the time to go, okay, this isn't quite resonating with me. I'm going to go somewhere a bit quieter, speaking to somebody there, organising the coffee, and then all of that lovely chain of events meant that we were great friends for the time that she was here in Sydney. And we went out for lots of coffees and to lots of different events after that. That whole first step that you put so beautifully about taking a wingman or taking a friend, I think is really important as well, because sometimes it can be that scary first step that people have a little bit of a problem overcoming, but definitely taking somebody and taking a friend. What would be, I guess, one of the most successful times that you've gone to one of these networking events?
I've been to, a number of networking events, but, I can talk about the recent events happening in Adelaide because I'm a bit, I came here last year and, I want to develop my network. And I been to one of the networking event organized by an organization, and I was alone, and I just went inside the room. I said, let's see who knows me, right? Nobody. Then I said, look out, let's meet someone. And then I tried to talk to someone, tried to get into the group, not able to do it. However, I waited for the opportunity. So that's what I really want to emphasize. Don't be disheartened in the initial minutes when you enter a networking event. Will be an opportunity for sure, but you need to grab it. So they have started doing speed networking, and I got to meet around 4 people in 4 minutes, and all 4 of them are a good friend of mine now today. So that's the interesting thing is you entered in a room as an unknown person, and you came out with 4 friends, which has introduced you to more people. So thing is, yes, it happens. There will be a scary moments or disheartening moments. Don't let them clutter your mind. Just wait for the opportunity. Spend 1 hour. If you have decided that I'm going to spend 1 hour in the event, spend 1 hour. Maybe in the last minute, you will get an opportunity. So be there for the whole time that you think that I will be there.
That's another great tip. So, taking somebody that so that you feel a bit more comfortable. And on those occasions when your friends aren't available and you still want to go because it's a really, really good group and you want to meet people, going there and perhaps being kind to yourself and saying, well, okay, I'll give it an hour. If I'm still feeling uncomfortable and it hasn't really clicked for me after an hour, I'll leave. But giving it a good amount of time, like you said, it can't be the first 10 minutes because typically people, especially when arriving at events, they are going and saying hello to people they already know. Yeah. But once they've done that, they're there to meet new people. So they're not going to stay with those people. They're then going to, like you, be wanting to meet new people. And I love it when, yes, organizations and situations where they organize things like the speed networking, because that is such a great way to not just have a superficial hello, how are you kind of conversation. You get 2 to 3 minutes to actually explain a little bit and more about who you are and what you're doing, your business. And you also get to hear about others in a much more deeper way, and can decide then, yes, I want to have coffee with that person, or no, I don't want to have coffee with that person, because you're filtering just like they're filtering.
Yeah.
You're filtering, who are the people I can go and do painting with, and who are the people that don't want to ever go and do painting with me, but will be great to connect with and talk about startups and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So there's this mindset then of getting out, meeting people, going to those groups and building those connections. I want to bring it back as well to that entrepreneurial stuff, because sometimes people just don't even know where to start. Or I, for example, was a little bit older and went and did an entrepreneurial course because I realized I needed to retrain to be a bit more entrepreneurial. But I think similar to that, the mental or the emotional overcoming some of those fears to go out networking, what would you say are great suggestions for people to overcome some of those fears around, I can't be an entrepreneur because I'm too old, too young, too this, too that? So what sort of suggestions would you have for that?
See, first of all, if you really want to be an entrepreneur, right? See, anybody can be an entrepreneur. That's one thing. That is 100% sure. Second is, do you really want to pursue that path? That's mindset. If you decided that I want to try being an entrepreneur, right? Don't disturb your ongoing life. Means try to find time to do your entrepreneurial activities and then an extra time that you have to bring out in your life, right? And then understand what exactly you want to do. Never, if you are the first time entrepreneur, right, try to do something which is within your domain or within your reach. Like, for example, I'm a telecommunication engineer. I can never think of starting something into biotechnology because it will take a lot of time and chances of failure is high. So if I start something into telecommunications or Internet of Things, I may be able to succeed because I have the background in it. Second is business background. First is technological background. Second is business background. Look around. Which domain you have people in your close network whom you can learn. And then start thinking about that idea. And the moment you have an idea, be your customer and try to sell your idea. If you are able to success, if you're able to get answers, then yes, pursue further. Don't spend too much of money in one go. Second thing is discover about your idea. What exactly you're doing? What are the risk barriers? Who are the collaborators, competitors? And create a roadmap where the possibility of getting a revenue is 6 months, not 1 year, 2 years. Don't put too much of money in the technology development, I would say. Yeah, if it's hardware, you have to put it. If it's a platform, still, you have to be very calculative. Like I can give you an example. If you have $100,000 of budget, don't spend $100,000. Start spending 5,000, then next 10,000, next 10,000. Go slow. So if you follow this process, again, coming back to the strategy and innovative strategy. So I term it as business innovation. If you follow a business innovation roadmap, then the chances of success are very high. Getting into the entrepreneur journey is very high. And being an entrepreneur is not that running a very big company. It can be a small outfit, which gives you satisfaction of that is success.
What a beautiful way you've again so eloquently described taking those steps for people that may be contemplating it. And given, what is happening with technology, people may need to, even if they don't necessarily want to, start thinking about other ways of creating income and generating their income. And I love how you talk about, well, don't throw away what you're doing, or what you're currently doing, keep that going. I think that that's a really important point, and start to work on the entrepreneur. Like I was describing that property investing, I didn't do that. I didn't go, oh, I'm going to quit my job tomorrow and go to a property seminar and be a property mogul, within a week. Investigating and checking these things out. One of the great things I was reminded about the other day was I can't remember the coach's name, but he was coaching some people, and he was saying to them, so how much TV on average, or nowadays it might be how much social media on average do you spend your time on each day? And it was something, terrible, like 3-4 hours. And the suggestion from that coach was, well, what if you just took one of those hours and worked on your idea? So I think the same thing is what I'm very beautifully hearing from you. It's not saying it's one or the other. It's not like you have to give up your current job to go and be an entrepreneur. It's not like you need to give up all of your current downtime, whether that's family or for yourself or whatever it might be. It's saying, well, if we as a family are watching 3-4 hours a day, then I can take an hour out of that and go and sit there and start to plan out and talk to people in that hour about my idea or my entrepreneur idea. And it can be anything. I see people advertising, we can put your family pet on an iPhone and a phone cover case.
Yeah.
So people are coming up with all sorts of wonderful ideas and steps into being an entrepreneur to kind of check it out and doing it as a side hustle and doing it so beautifully. And I think you so beautifully described, those important steps of deciding to do it, working out what it is that you want to do, and then starting to work through that entrepreneurial plan of what you want to do within what timeline. And probably the other really beautiful thing that I heard from you was around if you have a budget for 100,000, don't spend the 100,000. Start with spending the 5,000 and see where you go from there.
Yeah. So, and this is how you should work. And I'm, happy to help anyone. I've been helping, and I will keep helping people.
That's so beautiful. And if people did want to reach out, Vivek, what's the best way of getting hold of you?
I would suggest find me on LinkedIn, right? And I'm always open to connect. And please specify, the connection, right? What exactly kind of thing you need from me, right? And so that it gives me an idea. And if I'm able to help you out, I will reply to you immediately. If I'm not, then again, also I will let you know. However, I have a good network. If I can't help you, I can direct you to the correct people. So LinkedIn is the best, or you can visit my website, IP Guardian. There is a contact us space. You can contact with me, and for your patents or trademark or any intellectual property strategy requirements. For business innovations, you can connect me on LinkedIn.
Beautiful, and it's so generous of you as well. And finally, if you were to give some advice to your younger self, what do you think that advice might be?
For me, start exploring entrepreneurial possibilities early in your career, right? So that if you become a financially independent individual, you can contribute to the community more as compared to, if you are not able to do it. And I believe in if we have a financially independent community, that becomes socially responsible society as well. And then the holistic growth of the country, community, and the economy will be there for sure. And this is what I'm trying to do in Adelaide here now.
Wow, and what a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous goal of wanting to create that financially independent community and helping people to do that. And it's so true, Maslow and the other hierarchies that talk about when our basic needs are taken care of, as we go through that hierarchy, then community and being able to give back and having the time and the space. And I hear how your advice to your younger self would be to start on that financial freedom journey, that entrepreneurial journey, much earlier. And for people watching, I think it's important to again say, whatever point or stage you are at your career, it's never too late to start. And we've talked about some of the fabulous ways of going out, of asking for what you want, and of being clear about your idea. But Vivek, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show today.
Thanks, Michelle, for the opportunity, and I hope I was able to share my experience and help people to grow further. And yeah, if you have an idea, I have a strategy. Let's collaborate.
I love it. If you have
Yeah.
an idea, I have a strategy. What a great, you should have that written behind you, Vivek.
I can file a trademark application for that.
Yeah. I think I know somebody that does IP. If you have an idea, I have a strategy.
Yeah.
So it's been such an absolutely fabulous show again, and I hope that you've got as much as I have out of these wonderful, wonderful suggestions for creating a successful mindset. But for now, from my heart to your heart, be great, be fabulous, and be you.